Town's very own Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Okay, welcome to another round of the Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini, along with my ace-cut man, corner man, Mike Case. And we have a very special guest today that we're going to get to, my friend Rosalindo Morales. How'd I do with that
How's
one?
the pronunciation?
That was actually pretty good.
I rolled my R's pretty good on that one.
Bad.
But and we're going to talk and hear a little bit about Rosie's story. And it's I got the chance to meet Rosie a couple of years ago, and I'll tell that story. But before we start, I just want to get this out of the way because
You just got back, right?
I just got back
From?
I was in Los Angeles, and here was my my tour. I went Los Angeles to Las Vegas, then went back to Los Angeles for one day, Chicago for a night, and then I was in Minnesota for the fight last week for the fights on FS1 for 2 nights. The interesting thing about that is, now let me clear up. I left last Wednesday, it was 2 weeks ago, Wednesday.
Right, after
Right.
our show on Tuesday.
After our show, right.
Yeah.
We played Tuesday. And I keep saying, is this Thursday? We're on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Wow. I'm missing, man. Day late, dollar short, all that. That's true. But 2 weeks ago yesterday, I left and we go early morning flight out of Cleveland, direct nonstop on United Airlines. Lovely, wonderful airline. And I was there. I'm very fortunate to have a company that flies me first class. But I did want to clarify. I took my wife on this trip, and I do want to clarify, rectify, and specify that I let her fly first class. And I went in the back.
She took your seat?
She took. Well, I gave it to her, and I went.
nice.
And yeah, chivalry is not dead.
Right.
Nope.
I'm going to sleep on the plane anyway. So what difference
That's
make, right?
awesome.
So she took it. Now, the reason I'm telling that, we checked in her bag. And it's a direct nonstop. We got there, and we go to baggage claim, and when you go from the plane, it usually takes a long time for the baggage to get out, right? But we stopped to get a cup of coffee,
Go to the bathroom.
went to the men's room,
Sure.
come down, walk down there, and the bag's already coming out.
Okay.
Wait, now I have the driver waiting for me. It's beautiful. They sent a driver for me. It's lovely. Waiting bags, boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, my wife gets her bag.
Okay.
Great. I don't get mine. And after finally, that's it. And there's 2 or 3 other bags, but none of them that look like mine. So now we go up to the United woman there. I said, "Excuse me, bag didn't come through." I give her the tag. She looks it up. She goes, "Well, it's like a Seinfeld episode." She says, your bag flew at you."
It went on the
and
plane.
It went on the plane. It flew at you, and the bag actually landed. Because I didn't realize this. When they scan it, when they put it on, but they scan it coming off the plane. I did not know that.
Okay.
So she goes,
okay.
"It landed with you." And she goes, "It got scanned coming off." I said, "Yes, but it didn't arrive with me." And isn't that the most important part of the
Yes, it is.
trip?
Oh, man.
Yes, it is.
It's like the Seinfeld episode, right? And,
So was it in the airport somewhere?
She said, "Well, maybe it fell off the cart." But you know what we think after a while? Somebody said, "Well, maybe they don't know if it got to the carousel," which I don't think it did, because people say, "Oh, somebody took it off the carousel." First of all, who's going to know if somebody's behind you? It isn't like my name's all over it. It's a very nondescript black Samsonite bag.
Yeah.
Very nice bag. But what I'm thinking is maybe, these guys, and I have friends of mine who worked for the airlines, say, "Oh, yeah, it's common." They see bags. They see bag. They put a nice bag and feel heavy. They throw it to the side. They go through it to see what kind of swag they can get.
No way.
Oh yeah, I'm not, and
Not all the time,
but that's
sure.
Right.
that's common.
It happens.
It happens.
So now
And-
you're at the point where,
and that-
do I go home?
No,
do I
I'm
stay?
sitting there going, I got runners on, joggers, joggers. They got the pants and a t-shirt and a small jacket. And I go, I'm on the road for 12 days. I'm gonna be on the road for that, and this is the morning of. I just get there, and now I have a meeting that night at ICM Talent Agency for a project I'm involved with. Me and a friend of mine, a partner of mine, he's in town. He meets me in LA. We have this meeting. So the woman says, "Well, I'm sure it'll come on the next flight, or we'll find it, and we'll find it somewhere, or not next flight." She goes, "We'll find it somewhere, and we'll send it to your hotel." Okay, I'm very confident of it. So now I go to the hotel, and it's early morning, and first thing you get that sick feeling, and that's, you feel violated. Like, man, my bag's lost, or somebody take it. It's
Yeah.
and you feel sick, and then I go, and the reason I'm going to tell this because I'm come back to, you got to practice what you preach, so to speak. And I'm going to, but so like, man, am I getting aggravated? I'm gonna say, and then I go, nah, let it go. But it's hard to get that knot in your stomach. So we go to the hotel. Figure, I'll get it back. So I call my friend and say, hey, look, we got this meeting. I told him, I said, look, let them know that I got runners on. I'm T-shirt. And, I ain't be looking like,
classy
like I should be
business,
for a
yeah.
business meeting at ICM. He said, all right, I'll tell him. So now, afternoon, and now they get me in a hotel. They put me in a hotel in Century City. And the ICM isn't, and most of the talent agencies are Beverly Hills ICM or in Century City now. So it happened to be literally right around the corner. So 2 blocks down, walk over. So I
Okay.
could walk to it, 5-minute walk. So I go, walk, explain the story, So now I leave, get done with the meeting, and I call my girl, who's my production coordinator at Fox. Tell her, look, I got bags lost. I know I got a show tomorrow. We get the show the next day. I have nothing. Do you guys anything, for me to wear? We have wardrobe here, but I don't know if we can get you a size in time. And she goes, let me call you back. She calls me back. She goes, now I'm walking by, and right across the street is the Century City Mall. So I'm walking by.
Uh-huh.
And she says to me,
that's where we're different.
No,
Like guys and girls are different. Girls, as soon as they lose something big, shopping trip?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So, and I just happened to be, it was just a coincidence. And so he goes, Ray, her name's Emily, lovely, lovely woman. She says, Ray, are you near a Nordstrom's? I said, I literally just passed it. It's right across the street. She goes,
Walked right by
well,
it.
if you go in there, she goes, I spoke to the tailor, Antonio. He'll be waiting. He'll get you tied, fixed up when you walk in, and we'll get you. I said, okay, great. Go in there, walk into Nordstrom's, walk in, looking. Gentleman comes up to me, says, can I help you? I said, I'm looking for the men's department. Oh, okay, over here. Walk over there. He says, anything I help you with? And so I explained my story to him. I said, but, I said, well, man, I love it. Ted Baker, one of my favorite designers. Hugo Boss, another good designer. And I'm looking at, but, Kenneth Cole, clothes, all these young men's clothes like yourself and my kids, but guys, the clothes I like. So I said, well, I'm looking, I like Ted Baker. And I said, I like everything. I said, I need to get a jacket, pant, shirt, tie. So he brings over me Ted Baker jacket, $800 jacket, brings me some pants, 7 plus. I go, yo. I expect to get my stuff back, and I expect to get it tonight. I just need something for tomorrow morning. Look, I love Ted Baker. I have no problem spending, but I don't need to get banged for banged out over here. I just need something for tomorrow. He says, I said, wait, hold on one second. So I call, I get my girl, Emily. I say, Emily, let me ask something. Am I paying for this? Is Fox paying for this?
No, we're good.
Oh, she says, oh, no, Ray, you got to pay for this. I go,
yeah,
hold on.
fuck
I
it.
go, hey, you got a Zara around here? He said, well, yeah, like right over here. I said, you understand? He goes, oh, I completely understand. So I walked down, and I go to Zara. Now, Zara is a cool brand. If anybody don't know, Zara is it's a European company. They have these stores all over, and great fashion brands, very fashion conscientious, European styles, European sizes. I could wear them, and obviously I did. But for guys like Rosie and my sons, young, 20s, young 30-year-olds, fashionable. No, it's cool stuff. Don't get me wrong, but at a very, very good price. So it was cool. So I go in there, and now I'm aggravated. I'm tired. It's late afternoon. And the guy goes, yeah, can I help you? I said, yeah, man, I'm looking for a jacket. I look over. I said, jacket, very good price. It was like $34. I said, let me go over and grab this. I need a pair of pants. Get this, $20-something pair of pants. I need a pair of jeans. He goes over, gets a pair of jeans. I see that I need a shirt and tie. He brings over the shirt, cool little tie. I probably need a casual shirt. I said, how about a turtleneck? Yeah, I said, give me that turtleneck. Give me a turtleneck. And I said, so I got the turtleneck, the jeans, the pant, the shirt, the tie, and a jacket. I said, okay, boom, boom. Rounded up, it was like $300-something. I mean, so I said, thank you very much. And you go, but so you go, okay. So, but I'm looking at it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
I just said, I looks like sometimes I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard, because it's for kids like I'm 57.
Okay.
And I don't want to look. I'm 27,
Yeah.
or Rosie's age. But my kids were, But actually, people, oh no, it's cool. So, I
LA.
like it. I like
LA.
it. It's cool. Okay. But here's my point. So I call. They give you the number to call. United Airlines call. Person on your thing the crew is on your workers are on the ground looking for your thing. We'll get back to you at Earth Community. Okay. Next day, call back. I got to go to Fox. My new outfit. Oh man, you look good.
What'd you get for shoes?
Pardon me? I kept my shoes with me in my bag. Carry on.
Okay.
Thank God.
Carry
Carry
on.
on. I keep my shoes. So I called a friend of mine. The funny thing is, I called my friend who met me when we had the meeting. I see him. I told him, he goes, why would you check it in? Because he travels a lot. I go, because my wife did. If she didn't, I don't check it in for that exact reason. So let me ask, if you're a businessman and the guys who travel on the road a lot, you get it. If you're on the road, you don't check your bag in for things like that. And so they go, you blaming your wife? I said, yes, I'm blaming my wife. If she didn't check it in, I don't check it in. I got no reason to check it in.
Right.
But it's heavy, and I don't want to keep them on the road for a week and a half. So I said, it's a direct nonstop, Mike. It ain't hard.
No, it's
as
hard.
we said, it flew with me. It landed with me. It just didn't arrive with me.
One job. So
anyway.
they thought it was at the airport.
Yeah, they don't know. Look,
Wait, do
somebody
we still
took
not
it.
have
So
the bag?
after a while, the woman said to me, they called me. So the next day, here's the other thing.
Okay.
So again, I won't take long. People are saying this is boring, but I get it.
I don't think so.
I go. So the next day, we call. So finally, I call and they say, call United Airlines. Said, look, you've been looking on my ground. And this woman goes, I got a feeling it's lost. She goes, yeah, it's probably taken. I said, okay, got it. She goes, well, can you look in the cameras? Don't you have? She goes, well, we need a police report to do that. You got to get a police report to file. I said, I want to file. She's got to get a police report. So any police report, any police department. So we're a mile and a half from, in the Beverly Hills, right outside. So go to
Beverly Hills cop.
Beverly
Here we
Hills
go.
Police Department. Now this is best. It's raining. Now this is Friday. It's raining. Me and my wife huddle up, get out. We go there and you ring the door, but they got like a doorbell. You ring the buzzer and let you in. They ain't letting you in.
Wow.
Yeah, they ain't let you. You can't just walk in. They ain't like down Youngstown. You walk down, you walk in. Can I help you? I said, yes, sir. I'm here to complain. Make a file report. Yep. I have a bag stolen. Of a theft. I have a bag stolen. It's just arrived into the city. My bag was stolen. Where did it happen, sir? Happened at the LA airport. So you have to get in touch with LAX police. They said they told me I could go to any place. They said, no, that's not true. You have to contact them. Okay. So now I'm sending, rain's coming. I'm trying to hide. Call the LA. I said, do you have a number for that? He said, no, sir, but if you just look it up. So I look up it call. Yes, sir, can I help you? I said, I'm here to report a theft at the LAX on my bag was stolen on Wednesday. And I said, I'm here at the police report at the Beverly Hills Police Department. They told me I have to call you. Mm-hmm. He said, sir, there's really nothing we can do. I go, you're at the LAX Police Department. He said, yes, sir. He said, you have to go talk to airlines. I said, but the airlines said that I need a police report. He goes, that's not true. I said, that's not true. He said, no, they tell you that because they don't want to pay. He said, there's nothing we can do. I said, well, they said, he says, they have the cameras there. We don't have the cameras. So they can, he said, and they don't want, he says, but so they tell you you need a police report so they can look, but they don't. You don't need a camera. I'm telling you. They do this all the time. And I don't know why they do this. They do it, and I realize why they do it, Mike. So they give you the runaround, so you get so frustrated, you go, hell with it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
because
right.
it's a runaround, man. Mm-hmm. It is. Because you call back, they go, no. I said, no, I do not need the police report. So I thanked them. No, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Believe me. They could do everything there. You don't need to come to me. Nothing I can do. Call back, and I did. Can't you check your cameras? Well, you need police. I said, no, you don't. He told me. I went there. He told me exactly that's what you would say. You don't. You could check them out. There's nothing they could do. It's all up to United now. Well, sir, we'll have to find out. We'll see. So now we're leaving Sunday. My wife's coming back here. I'm on the way to Vegas. We go to the airport a little early enough. I go downstairs, check out again. No. And the woman said, that was our fault. We are at fault. She says, file a report. I told him, because he said, she goes, yeah. She goes, you have to file, it'll probably take a little time. She goes, but we should have to pay. And I said, so we lost the bag. It was our fault. So that's how so I left there. And my point being is, so the moral of the story is this. This is what I was getting to. I get there. I started my whole trip. I'm aggravated, this and that. It could always get close. And obviously I did. And also, you realize, oh, I gotta get underwear and
Right.
To my
A
wife, I got no
toothbrush.
drawers. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. She goes, you can get close, folks. You can get close. I understand it. And here's my point I'm trying to get. Now, 2 days later, the next day or the day later, it was either that Thursday or Friday. I'm watching L.A. I'm watching the news in L.A. And they have a report about this young Mexicano couple, young Mexican couple, who expecting their first child first week of March. And they show the room, beautiful room with baby stuff, was all the crib, their first child. Their home was broken into, and they had on camera. They had cameras, or the must have been or the apartment living, because there was cameras everywhere. 3 guys busted through the front door, steal their phone, steal the computer, stole everything, but they left the baby room alone. And the wife and I'm thinking, and I'm watching this young couple, and all they were thankful for was how thankful they were that these guys left the baby room alone. How appreciative they were. They didn't touch the baby stuff.
Right.
Took everything else in there. And I said to myself, who am I to get aggravated, get upset? Life's gonna kick your ass once in a while.
Right.
This young couple he's just a working guy. Ain't got a whole lot. They're gonna have to go replace all that stuff. It doesn't probably cost them his, month's paycheck, whatever. Right. And clothes, I could go buy, and it puts things in perspective. And that's what I try to say. I talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk. I tell my kids all the time, your joy and happiness and your pain and your suffering are the flip side of the coin. We all got joy and happiness. It's just what I said, but we have a tendency to let go of the happiness too soon and enjoy, but we hold on to that pain and misery. I'm one of them people who does that. I aggravate, I internalize it, and then I let it go. But when you internalize it, it eats you up. It poisons your insides. It can poison you if you allow it. And I've told my wife that I've made a conscious effort. I read a lot of motivational stuff. I talk it. I tell my kids. I read a little scripture. I read my Bible daily. You can't let... And I even listen to the Eckhart Tolle, a motivational speaker. We become prisoners of our pain. And he says we become prisoners of our joy and our happiness. We cannot become prisoners of anything. We have to be able to let go of things right away. Let go of everything. Our happiness and our pain and misery. It's all fleeting. But the human nature, we hold on to the pain and misery and let the happiness and joy go too soon. So I told them I'm not going to let this screw up our week. Our Valentine's was the next day, and I said I'm not going to. But I had to go. You have to talk yourself into it. It's a process. You talk it, you got to walk it. So I guess that's the moral of the story. I guess I went a long way for it, but the moral of the story is we hold on to our pain, and something simple like that, where I would get aggravated, and you see this young couple who could genuinely have something to be hurt and angry. They were thankful that the people left the baby stuff alone, and I said, man. That's the attitude. I got to be more like that guy, And so that's the moral. So let your pain and suffering go, just like we let our happiness go. But you got to let your pain and suffering go. Everything can be replaced. I replaced the clothes. Generally, I got most of the clothes back. I got all my underwear back.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
I mean, I had to get it back. I mean, I bought new underwear.
Brand new.
You buy
but you
it.
probably could have used some new
I said,
ones,
well, now I got new. Then I took the attitude. I said, you know what? I got a new outfit out of the deal. How about that? All I'm
I have
hoping
underwear older than you. I'm not kidding. I do.
And I'm hoping, and this is what the old saying, all I'm saying is I'm not bashing them. I love United Airlines. I just hope they do the stand-up thing. You lost it. I didn't. You acknowledged it. Just pay me for what we filed out to claim. I'm not trying to get more from what it was worth. I'm not trying to get from my pain and suffering.
Times three.
Yeah. Do the right thing, and that's life, and we all move on.
It's like I agree with you there, but a part of me wants the person responsible to get what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever have identity theft? You ever have your credit card number stolen or something like that?
I know friends.
And they wipe it out. You call Visa and they're like, I wasn't in Michigan buying patio furniture or whatever the hell it is.
One time.
But you want someone to get in trouble for it.
Or pay for it.
And
some way,
or monetarily pay for it either.
Or go to jail or something, right?
Yes, and they don't. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. But I'm glad that you are able to let it go like that.
Mike, you got to, because it'll poison you.
You know what I mean? I don't know how temper person you are. We're Italian.
Control your emotions.
Yeah.
Be disciplined.
Totally.
You just said, that's my point. if you read scripture, and I read scripture, and if I read motivational books, and I try to, and if I go out and I travel the country doing motivational talks, if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk.
Exactly.
I can't. If I'm saying you gotta let pain and misery is temporary, and you gotta let go, and you reflect on the positive, and let the negative go, and then I get my bag, mess up my whole trip, then I'm lying. I'm a liar. I'm a hypocrite. But I said no, I'm not going to. And it was a good trip. I had a wonderful trip. I had a wonderful time. I had a good story to tell. That's what I looked at. I said, well, I guess I got a good story to tell.
That's true.
That's the positive out of it. And, that's the moral of the story. I told you, this shows a little bit more about life lessons and trying to give, food for thought and food for the soul. That's what we want to talk. So, but now I did that. I want to talk about our guest here.
Let's do our guest.
Yeah, do our guest.
Rosalindo
Morales.
Yeah, I can't do it like you guys.
Morales.
Morales. I
See, there
can
you
do
go.
that. I can roll there.
there you go.
Rosalindo Morales.
Originally from?
From San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Well, I was born in San Antonio, and I was living in Devine, Texas for 11 years. Then I moved up to Elwood City, Pennsylvania. So that's where I live now.
How tough was that?
It was a big change.
That's a world
Definitely
away,
a big change.
right?
Oh, yeah. It's over 1,000 miles.
Yeah, and the
So-
people are different.
It's cultural.
The
Cultural
culture's
differences.
different. The language is. You
Yeah,
know
I believe
what
the
I'm
cultural part was the biggest change for me. Not knowing anybody, being 11 years old.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a younger sister and an older brother.
Did they come too?
Yes, they both did. My sister, she was 4 years younger than me, so she was still young. She was probably 5 whenever I was 11, around there. So,
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, it's been going pretty good. I love it there. That's where I started my boxing career, Elwood City. So
Why?
Actually,
is that something you always wanted to do?
no, funny story. I mean, I love sports all my life, but funny story. My uncle is big into the Rocky movies,
Okay.
Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, and
Don't get him started on the right. By the way, they stole his
Yeah.
identity too. All right. Anyway, let's go.
Anyways, he showed me the movies, and I pretty much fell in love with them. Asked my mom one day if I could join boxing somehow, or we didn't know anything about the gym or nothing. One day after basketball practice in 7th grade, she took me down to this police station, and there's a boxing gym in the basement, and I fell in love with it ever since.
PAL. The
Yep.
PAL.
Yes.
Which is interesting because how many moms? I mean, there are moms that want kids playing
Right.
football
Exactly.
or soccer because of concussions.
But not boxing.
Your mom's like, yeah, go ahead, go
yeah,
down to
might as
box
well.
a little bit.
Try it.
But you know
You
what?
know
I
what I'm
think-
saying?
Yo, absolutely. No, I agree with you. But here's the beautiful thing about that. And I tell a lot of times people say to me, boom, boom, my son wants to be a boxer, but I don't. I said, what do you think? I said, no, let him do it. It's the greatest character builder I ever. It helped make me the man I am. Mike, if you have the discipline for the gym to train properly, because you go and catch butt whipping real quick if you ain't doing things right.
I agree.
But if you got the discipline for it and you keep coming back, and guys, you have the discipline, then you'll look for your schoolwork. It's a character, discipline for life.
And you're on your own.
Absolutely.
You're by yourself.
Absolutely, it's the
Exactly.
best thing. So I tell anybody, if you want, kid wants to go to the gym, try it. 99.9 are not going to fight. 99. But they'll be in the gym and they love being around the camaraderie of the gym. It's not like it. There's something about that being in the gym. You come from different walks of life. You got a guy who thinks comes from thug life and thinks he's everything. You got a kid who's a nebbish little kid who's the bookworm, and they go to the gym. And Angelo Dundee used to say it best. Said the gym is the greatest equalizer. It makes this kid who's a nerdish kid, it'll blossom. He'll great confidence. And the guy who thinks he's something, and gangbanger or whatever, it'll humble him real quick. And realize. And the guy who wouldn't say hello to you in school because you're, also now, hey, you acknowledge each other. It ain't like you're hanging out, but you acknowledge each other. Hey, man, how
From
you
the
doing?
gym.
Exactly.
So when you started, were you a natural or did you suck or were you somewhere in between or what was it?
My trainer said I was a natural. I mean, I didn't really know much about fighting. I mean, I fought my whole life and everything. I didn't know much about boxing technique-wise. And the first week I was in the gym, I sparred. And ever since then, I mean, pretty much can say I was a natural.
Did you love it?
Oh yeah, I go to the gym
gotta
every
love
day.
it. You
Yeah,
gotta love
you
it.
have
You
to.
gotta love it. It is.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
like boxing. You love it.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
when I hear people say, "I was thinking, I'm thinking of becoming a fighter," or "I'm thinking of," I say, you know what? If you're thinking, you do the other thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think it's either you love it or you don't. And I tell people, boxing comes to you. You don't go to boxing. It speaks to you, and I mean that sincerely. You guys know, I tried boxing. You know, you always hear this older guy say, "I tried boxing, but you know, I realized I didn't. You know, I don't want like getting hit." Well, yeah, fine, you got it because you tried it. No, it speaks to you. It comes to you.
Well, what did you like about it?
Well, to be honest, the best thing I liked about it is it's an individual sport. You can't blame anybody else besides yourself.
Even when you were that young, like that
yeah.
resonated with you?
Yep, because I played. I was playing tackle football, baseball, and
Some basketball.
some
obviously.
basketball. Yeah, I played basketball as well, but all those sports were team sports. You're on a team. You have your teammates. You go out and you can blame one or the other. You can blame the coach. All this, but when you're in the ring, it's you doing the work, only you, and you know what you put into it, and your training wise, and if you lose, and it really all comes back to you, because you can either train to go harder or not train
give up.
hard and give up.
Sure.
And face the consequences.
You said what I love what you just said. I always tell people you only get out of it what you put into it.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the only thing. That's in life in general.
Yep.
It's like schoolwork, right there. But you only get out of what you. So if you want to be a champion and you ain't willing to pay the price to be a champion, you know, people always think, well, he's a champion. You think you just happen to get there. They don't know every not hurt, bruise, you know,
Right.
bloody lip, all those things. They don't know those steps to get there. Now it's got a kick out of it going, yeah. But it's like anything. Anybody of success. We don't know the schoolwork. You know, I'm a big admirer. People I graduated with. How many doctors come out of my class and lawyers? I have such admiration for them. Because I didn't have the discipline for school like that to go them years of school. I really didn't. I had for what I did, but I didn't have it for that. And I always admire people that man, that's tremendous that they did that. So, but that's what I'm saying. You only get out of what you put into it.
Right.
And
So fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
You started when you were 11.
Yes.
And then how long to your first fight?
First fight I fought probably 5 months after I started. My trainers thought I was good enough to go ahead and sign up for USA Boxing for the amateurs. And
Is that what people do? I mean,
yes.
is that like the thing?
Yeah,
to
you
do?
got to go
Okay.
through USA Boxing and sign up to have your an amateur fight.
Okay.
And then
at that time, it's new.
Yes.
I didn't have to do that at that time.
Okay.
And it's relative over the last.
right whenever I
20
first started, that's
And
what
then
we had to do.
they paired you up with somebody at your level, or
Yeah, we were same weight. It was just a regular exhibition match. My first fight was actually in Elwood City at the Sons of Italy. We put on shows twice a year, right in Elwood, and they matched me up against someone, and I ended up fighting and getting a TKO in the first or second round, and then just started ever since then.
so
Kept going.
when they hold your hand up at the end for the first time,
Yeah.
what's that like?
It was really, amazing. You know, like
It's like
there's nothing like it.
It's the greatest feeling in the world. I
Especially
know.
being 13 years old and you're the only one getting your arm raised.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's great.
It's life altering.
Yeah.
Is it?
It really is.
Exactly.
It really is. Really is.
You could really drink that in. I
Oh
bet,
yeah.
and then,
I mean, ever since then, I never wanted to lose again.
so how many amateur fights?
Close to 80. I want to say more roughly around like 75 to 78.
Why? Is that the thing? I mean, do you need to fight that much?
Or
do you have to physically mature, or why does it? It seems like that would
yeah.
take a long time.
Right.
to
Well, when
accumulate
you start
80
young,
fights.
you want to get the experience, and the experience comes with knowledge, and you get better.
But Mike, when you like Rosie's, when you play in these tournaments
Yeah.
and you win, sometimes you fight like 2 or 3. You might have 4 or 5 fights in 4 or 5 days. Or
Oh, okay.
like when I was National Golden Gloves, we fought once, then we fought twice the next day.
Yep.
Then
Okay.
then you go
So
to
they add up pretty
yeah,
quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
quicker than you
usually
think.
you have twice one, and when you have tournaments, very often you have
Right.
2 fights in one day.
It's not like when you're a pro and you fight every 6 months.
Exactly.
No.
No,
or
no,
whatever.
that's what I'm
No,
saying.
it's
So it's
completely
common. And,
different.
the tournaments you fight a lot, and then you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
then you go to
amateurs
smokers.
it's only 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds for the amateurs.
Okay.
So
and you're learning on the way.
Right.
You're accumulating that
Yeah.
knowledge as you go, right?
exactly fighting different people from all over the country. Yeah, I made it to the National Golden Gloves in 2016, and won states a couple times. But yeah, it's just all experience really. to get to the next level.
What when you're doing that and you're learning, when did it click for you that it was like, yep, this is what I'm going to do? I'm definitely going to give this a shot before I give anything else a shot in my life.
Actually, it started whenever I was really young. I never really wanted to quit boxing. I mean, obviously, young teenager, you're going out and you're curious about things, whatever. But other than that, I was always been disciplined in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting as much as I can, and it didn't really start clicking until I had to turn open, fighting older men really whenever I was 17. Because once you turn open, you gotta you can fight anybody from the age of 17 to, I think they changed it now actually.
I think it was 28. It was anywhere in the 20s. I was fighting. Yeah, no,
pretty much.
I think amateurs now as a kid be more than 28 years old. I think
something like that.
Yeah, because you got a lot of guys that stay in amateurs forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to ask in a little bit, but I guess I have like 3 more questions, but I want to get to that Cuba trip that you guys went on too.
Yeah, definitely.
You fought 80 times as an amateur,
roughly.
let's say.
Roughly.
You won how many?
I would say about 60.
So you lost like 20 times.
Right.
What's that like?
I don't like losing a lot. I mean, I'm sure nobody does, really, but
obviously it's like, you know, when you're a cornerback and you get beat, and they say to have a short memory.
Right.
Is that what it's like when you're in boxing, or is it different?
Kind of. I mean,
yes and no. They tell you that it don't work that way.
No.
It eats at you.
Okay.
It eats at you. But
are you only like as good as your last fight? Is that
well,
the one
that's
you're thinking of?
that's not what they say that. But you know, you're an amateur. And, you know, you want to win whether it's the city, the state, the national tournament. It eats at you. It eats you till you get back in the gym, and then slowly you go away. You
agree?
Yeah. I definitely agree. You just got to go back and fix what you did wrong.
Right.
You got to accept the defeat, and then just improve on it.
Well, that's kind of what I was just talking about earlier about pain,
accepting
and misery, and accept it. But we hold on to it. We have that natural human nature. We hold on to our pain and misery a lot longer than we hold on to our joy and happiness.
A lot of it's mental.
Did you find that you were, when you did lose or when you struggled, was it because you were doing something wrong or because the guy was just better than you?
A little bit of both, really. Because you can always train harder. It's just really the individual if he wants to put in that work. And there's obviously more talented fighters out there that you're going to be facing. So
more experience,
right? More experience.
Experience is everything in amateurs.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay.
So
now you're fighting older guys,
right? Older guys, pretty much. You still have that teenage kid strength, I could say. Whenever you're just turning open, and you're fighting men who are 20 to 25 years old, who are actually maturing. You know.
Yeah.
So
any injuries or anything?
No, actually,
which is lucky,
right?
I would think, right?
Yeah, really lucky. Because, I mean, being boxing, you're getting punched for fun, really.
Yeah, and all that. The training's not easy.
Yeah, no, not at all. Sparring and everything.
But it's all part of the process.
Exactly.
That you love. You know, getting up early in the morning when I used to go up for school.
Yep.
To do
4 or 5 a.m.
But there's a purpose because it's the end result. You know, I can tell you when you stand with your arm raised, it's no greater feeling.
No greater feeling.
If you get beat, you know that you don't want that pain. There ain't no pain like that either. Though it's temporary, but at that moment you go, man, it hurts more than anything. Yeah. So that's the reason why you get up. You know, it's the discipline to do it.
All right, how'd you get picked to go to Cuba?
Really, it was a 2-week notice kind of thing, and I was supposed to turn professional before I went to Cuba, but things didn't work out. I couldn't get the promoter. I don't know exactly, but my trainer talked to some of the guys in charge of the Cuba fight, and they were interested in asking me to go. And I've known the guys that were going there, so they pretty much asked me if I wanted to go, and I went and trained with them. Ray was there.
Yeah.
And did some good training.
What year was it? Was this
2017?
17. Okay, so you guys go down. You go with how many?
No, it was the second trip. See, I got asked 2016 to go down with the team from Pittsburgh to go to Cuba. And it was the first time in over 60-something years that Americans were allowed into Cuba, an American sports franchise of any sort went there. And it's a people-to-people type thing because now Pittsburgh's like a sister city to Havana, you know. And they have actually a consulate there now, a Cuban consulate in Pittsburgh. And a woman there, Lourdes.
Okay, yeah.
Was, she married, her husband was a professor at the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And so they lived there, and that's how she started with the city and started people to people. And anyhow, back and forth. So we went there to train, and then the Cubans were coming to fight. To do a fight, it was in July, I believe, at on the
bridge,
Roberto Clemente Bridge.
Okay.
So we went down there the first time. They trained at La Academia de Boxeo La Habana, which is the place where they trained for the last 56 years. So all the training, it's a training center, the Academy of Boxing of Havana, so where all the amateur trainers, fighters from Cuba who went to Olympics from, Teofilo Stevenson, all the great amateurs, they're probably, and you can see why they're the most prestigious and the best amateur team, and have been forever, because of how they work. Now, let me clarify. In Cuba, it's a poor country, but athletes get treated like royalty. So it's an academy, so they live there, they go to school there. But if they win their amateur, they win national tournaments, they get better, they get their own room. They have to room with somebody
They
first.
get the perks, huh?
Yes.
Perks, exactly.
Okay.
If you win a national or a world title, then you get your own room. You win an Olympic title,
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
huh?
you get treated like royalty. You get food, all the food
great.
you want, because it's a poor country. The food the everyday folk aren't getting. It's rationed, everything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get the everyday necessities. But if you're a great star athlete, you get treated like a king. And that's why people used to say, why don't Teofilo Stevenson ever come to America? Why? He's treated like royalty there. He had a great life in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. But that's why these guys fight so hard, and why they are. And you go there and you see how they train. Our guys went there to train. It's primitive. The place where they
it's
train is
completely
primitive.
different. It
But
really is.
but you could see, man, it's just old fashioned, old school, Rocky-esque type of equipment. But they just do it over and over, and you could see it. You could see why they're the best. And our guys went there, and our young kids went there first, and they're like, and it got deflated at first because you could see, and the humidity. You know how you
Yeah, it was
oh man,
hot.
it saps
Very
you.
hot.
Yeah.
Very saps you. So that was the first trip. Then but it was a great experience for our kids and a great experience for me to see that. And so we came back and we matched our guys up. We want to kind of match them up, not the overmatching, because they're the most prestigious amateur team in the world. But they came here. They sent like their B and C team, not their A team, obviously, but that's still top guys, still top guys. And so they did well. They came here and they fought at the Roberto Clemente Bridge, and Cuba won the triple light, but it was like how many fights? 11 fights, like 8-3 or 9-2 or something.
Yeah,
but our guys showed themselves very proudly. So now the trip that I met Rosie on, we went back over there because we were going to have to rematch in Pinar del Rio.
Okay,
And
down
then-
in their place.
Yeah.
All right, so you get there,
Right.
which I'm guessing is not like an LAX airport.
No.
It looks like,
Yeah, it was-
third worldish, I
yeah,
would think,
pretty
but I don't know.
But here's what people forget. And people who
But
say,
that's
yeah,
a tourist town, right?
It is.
It is. It
People
kinda
say,
is.
oh, they're poor people. Don't get me wrong. But we're the only country that the number one destination for Europeans from Italy, Germany is Cuba.
Okay.
It's
They go
beautiful
there,
down
so
there.
they get tourist dollar very well.
Okay.
They do very well with the tourist dollar because people say it's not as archaic as you would think. But it's primitive in many ways.
Yeah.
But you can see when you go there why it was the joint back in the day. You can see why it was the joint, man.
Yeah, it's nice there. I liked it.
Beautiful, man. You can see what the casinos were. They're no longer, but the cars are old. But they're still running on leaded gas. But the bodies are beautiful. You got the canary yellow, fire engine red, all the Cadillacs. I mean, it's like out of the movies.
That's cool.
But like I said, we're the only country that don't go there. Europeans been a destination for them for years. So.
Right. All right, so you get there, and are you like awestruck, or had you been to other countries before?
Yeah, actually, we the Donnybrook. We went to Ireland
Okay.
to fight there as well. I don't think
I wasn't part of
you were
that, no.
right? No, but so I was used to going to like Ireland, different countries or whatever. But yeah, Cuba. We got there and it was nice weather, beautiful. People were great. They're all nice and everything, so I didn't really mind it too bad, and it wasn't really that much of a shock to go to a different country.
Did you pick up anything from watching them train or training near them?
Yeah, actually, they showed spectacular. Their training was brilliance in the basics, pretty much.
Oh, man.
They're
Good way to put it.
they're basic. They're basic knowledge of boxing was pretty much how would I say it? Like,
No, you're right. Fundamentally,
Yeah,
the fundamentals
yeah.
are solid.
So, like,
Solid.
take me through what they would do if I'm not a boxer. What are some of the things they do better than us on the whole?
I mean, I wouldn't say better than us, but just do it maybe more consistent. I'm not exactly sure how to say it.
They do. They do the with right hand jab. What they do have that's better, and they show because they're, like I said, the way their machines they use archaic, a bit old. Their footwork is the best.
They're always moving.
Their footwork is the best. They're always in position to punch. You know, their footwork is by far superior over our
Right.
team. You can see why they are because they use old apparatuses. It's like our guys. There's an apparatus like eight punching bags, right?
all
And you punch it, and it rotates. So our guys hit it and they move, they hit it and they move with the bag. So as they punch it, their feet go
with
forward.
it. Okay.
How to come forward, move towards the bag, and then it reverses, and how to back up a little bit and punch with the bag. It's just easy.
crazy.
It's basic stuff, but our guys didn't know at first. They're like hitting the bag, and then the bag would move. They're waiting for the next bag, and they come. You know, they like that. You move with the bag. And now it's things like that, man. It's basic stuff.
It was like a carousel full of heavy bags.
Yeah, and it just moved in a
And it just moved in circles, and you just got to stay on your bag
and you
and
follow
just
it.
keep following it,
Right.
move with it.
And move.
Yeah.
That's how you develop your footwork.
Huh. And
Is
then
it-
what else? What else did you learn that maybe you didn't do as well as you do now because of it?
Let's see.
Was there anything?
I mean, I learned how to keep my hands up better.
Because if you
they're
didn't-
heavy punchers. They definitely knew how to hit. So all their fighters were strong, and let's see. Pretty much, yeah. Brilliance in the basics is pretty much the most important thing
Yeah.
I took from that trip.
How were your boxing matches?
Good. I think they came out on top by 1 or 2 fights. I can't.
Yeah, we
do you
did
remember?
better down there, but they still
Yeah.
won. But that,
Right.
again, it's expected because these guys, that's all they do.
Sure.
They're a lot of, and they can say we're giving you our C guy, B guy, but it might sneak in an A guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But our kids did well. Rosie did wonderful down there, man.
Yeah, it
You
was
did
great.
terrific.
It was great.
And,
Great time.
You can't beat that experience, man. But you're fighting pros.
Yeah.
Most of them are pros.
I want to talk about going pro.
Okay.
What goes in? Who decides when it's time? What do you have to do it? And then why would you do it? Or why wouldn't you do it? I'm sure a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, pretty much anybody can go pro. I mean,
And yeah,
anybody.
anytime. You gotta be.
But-
I think you have to be age of 16 now. They tell
Yeah.
you. They
Okay.
prefer 18. I turned pro at 18 right out of high school. My father said that was the best time. You can get used up in amateurs, so your body only has so many fights in it, amateur or pro.
Okay.
You get used up in amateurs. You get enough amateur experience.
Right.
Move
It's
on.
time to go.
You
move
ain't
on.
eating
It's
them
time to go.
medals. You
Yeah,
ain't
you-
eating medals.
Right.
But
You don't want to.
The whole I don't know boxing in my pinky as much as you got. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
But it seems like when you go pro, you better hit the ground running because it's all predicated on that record.
Yeah.
And if you don't build up that record,
Right, then-
and you're 6-5, good luck.
Yeah.
You're making it harder on yourself. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
You're
But
not
that's the problem. There's a lot of guys who had better. For example, there's a guy who winning world titles, Mickey Ward. They did a movie about him
Yep.
because Mickey was getting thrown into with all the dogs early on. His mother was his manager. She told him,
Yeah.
we'll give you $10 for your son. Fight. Oh yeah, he'll fight anybody. But Mickey developed, man. He lost a lot of early fights because he wasn't experienced enough. But he was better than he was. And then eventually, when his talent caught up to him, or experience caught up to his talent, he was beating guys he had no business beating, and then became a contender. So record-wise, it wasn't as spectacular as you would think, but he was a terrific fighter. There's a lot of guys like that they didn't get shots until later on. Their early record didn't dictate how good they were.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we try to go. He's 8-0, and this guy,
The O is sparkling in boxing,
no,
right?
man. I tell you what, there's no problem. If you get lost, it teaches you more than you are the wins. So that's
The end will
that's not
teach
about
you.
the fighter.
But, yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your story then. So you've 80 fights in, let's
Yeah,
say.
80 fights in. I just talk to my trainers, talk about it hard, really, and just sit down. I think it's time to turn pro. I'm getting old. I'm not getting any younger.
How old are you?
25.
Yeah.
So-
No. Time to move on.
So
yeah.
it's either going to keep fighting amateur and just not get paid for it.
Right. Or make this my
Yeah,
career. This is
make
going
this
to
my
be
career,
what
right.
I do.
Exactly.
Right.
So.
But you have a family now, right?
Yes. I just had a 10-month-old daughter yesterday. She just turned 10 months.
Does that change things?
Yes, very traumatically.
For a couple of different reasons.
Yeah.
You're earning money for them.
Exactly.
You might get hurt.
Exactly. Yep.
You have, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of, there's goods and bads
Yeah.
to it, right?
For me, it's always like everything's gonna be for her now. So
No, you're right. See, when I fought, I didn't have. I was, and you know, and I know a lot of guys like Rosie are married, and I admire that. You know, I wouldn't have been good for me because boxing was my lady. But I turned pro when I was 18, so I didn't. You
Yeah.
know, but let me tell you, when I came back later on, let's just say this: when I came back, I was already, you know, when I came back to fight Greg Hagen. When I fought Camacho, I come back. I had been gone 4 years. I wasn't married. I didn't have no kids, so I still be able to do it. When I came back as Hagen, now I was married. My first marriage. I had my second child. My son was born in November. I went to training camp in February, and there was a song. And I tell you, there's no excuse. It's just what it is. There was a song, Eric Clapton song, "Tears in Heaven." They used to come on. But I lost a son, everything. I get up, do road work, come back, eat. You know, from 10 to 2, I take a nap. 2 o'clock, you get up. 3 o'clock, we start getting ready for the gym. 4 o'clock, we go to the gym. 3 o'clock, every day that song would come on, and I was getting ready for the gym. I'd be bawling my eyes, crying like crazy. Couldn't control it. Couldn't understand. I understood it, but I couldn't control it because I realized my attitude used to be, when we get in that ring, either you're getting carried out or I'm getting carried out. One of us is getting carried out of there.
Yep.
This time is, God, please don't let me get hurt. My children, they need me. Please don't. You know, that was my mentality.
Right. Yeah.
That I never experienced that before.
And
I know-
boxing's hard enough.
And that's it.
Right?
Yeah, and then
so
put
it was
that on
different
top
for
of
me.
it.
It was different for me.
So, and you got to kiss them goodbye before you
Yeah,
go
exactly.
and stuff like that. So go on.
So pretty much,
It changed things.
yeah, it changed things big time because having a full-time job as well, on top of doing your training, having time for family, it's just hard to boggle everything in together
Sure.
to make time for everyone. And you're trying to do good with boxing, trying to make it, and spend time with your family. You don't want to be away from them for too long. So it kind of it's a hard thing to take in.
Can you
So-
streamline training? Could you make it, so let's say it's 6 hours. Could you make it 4.5 and just work harder? Or is boxing, you got to go for as long as you got to go, and that's that. Family,
I mean,
I'll see you at
yeah.
8, or whatever it is.
What
Is that how
yeah,
it goes?
Yeah. But you know, boxing is you do road work in the morning. Then you have to come back. Usually, it's good to take a nap. Do you work? Do you have a job? that
Yes,
you work?
yeah, I have a full-time job, 40+ hours a week.
See, that's
What are you
the
doing?
thing. That's the other thing we didn't talk about. I
yeah.
didn't have that. Boxing was my job.
Yeah.
Right.
And I admire people like Rosie who have a job. There's a lot of guys who used to come in the gym, had full-time jobs, then come to the gym afterwards. I couldn't imagine how they do it.
Yeah, this last fight was pretty tough with that.
What's your job?
I work in a steel mill.
Okay.
So I'm in a union.
He's a laborer, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
That's,
much.
that's hard
Yeah,
on the body.
Blue collar job.
Right, especially when you're one of
And-
the younger guys.
Yeah.
I would think.
The only thing about it is the job. It's a swing shift, so I'm switching shifts every seven days.
It's good for training,
Yeah.
right?
So not
It's
really.
hard for
but
consistency, man. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm off, I'm trying to train. My girlfriend she's really supportive, and she actually her and my daughter come to the gym and actually train with me. Well, they don't train with me, but they sit and spectate and
That's fantastic.
and help. So that's me spending time with my family, is going to the gym, and at home too whenever I can. But whenever I'm training for a fight, they're there. So it's
That helps motivate
it's
you.
great. Motivation
Yeah.
is great.
See, that's it's a beautiful thing. It's like when I just did a commentary for Leo Santa Cruz a couple weeks ago. You know, this kid, young, you know, he's a terrific one, great champion. But he's, you know, it's all about his kids and he trains.
Yeah.
Some guys say I couldn't do it. I needed to go away. He said that helps him focus because he comes home, goes to the gym
Yeah.
with his family. Some guys it's not good for.
Right.
You know, they have relations with their wife, but they know they have the discipline to do it, and I admire that. I admire it tremendously, and because you got to have that discipline. You got to, you know, and when you're older, you could do it.
Yeah, I've never had this happen before. Obviously, it's our first child, so it was like we didn't really know what to do because do I want my family there watching me, or do I want to go away and focus
Yeah.
mainly on the fight itself and training? But in the end, I loved it. It just gave me extra motivation to train harder because the way I see it, I'm doing it for my daughter and my family. So
And there might be a time you flip flop that.
Yeah.
There might be a time where you go
you have
away.
to go away or
Right.
something.
Go to
Eventually-
work.
Eventually, yeah. But,
Yeah.
that's the, but it's what, and as you said, it's time to spend time with your family.
Exactly.
You're
So-
spending that time, and it's, even though you're
So it's
working.
nice. It all worked out, and ended up fighting on February 16th, my third professional fight, and winning. So
Down a Mountaineer.
yes, Mountaineer.
Yeah. What kind of win was it?
It was a unanimous decision.
So you went the whole.
a whole it was a 4-round fight. Went four. I won 39 to 37.
So 3 to 4 rounds.
3 to 4 rounds.
Okay. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty decent.
Was
yeah.
it? I mean, was it a surprise, or did you think you? Because in
No,
boxing, you're kind of
yeah.
sure, but you're not
Right.
always
No,
sure.
I was
right?
I was
You
confident.
ain't
went over
sure.
this.
You had no
Yeah,
business dinner.
exactly.
You bet. It ain't no surprise. You expect to win.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, some people are surprised when they lose.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
well, it's funny you said that, Mike. I used to have a guy. I knew a guy. His kids were they were wrestlers. If they won, he'd give them $1. Okay? Now, he says, but if he lost, he'd give them $2. And I said, and he said, and
Dude,
he
I
expe-
love this.
No,
Yeah.
he said,
I love this. Go
and
ahead.
he says, because he told us, I expect you to win. I expect you to win. He says, if you lose, that's a surprise. So either way,
Yeah.
I want, he said, but if I expect you to win. That's not, he says, I expect you to win. He said, well, you lose, that's a surprise. So that's why I give you $2 instead. Because it's not shit, because I didn't think it would happen,
Yeah.
and it's a surprise. So I'll give you $2.
Okay.
And the logic behind that, I said at first I couldn't understand. It didn't hit me. So yeah, he's telling his kids, I expect you to succeed. I expect you to always succeed because I support that. And then once in a while that you don't, well, that's a surprise. You know what? Here, because of the effort, you
Yeah.
try hard. I'll give you more money, but 'cause I expect you to win next all the time. And I thought, wow,
Yeah.
he wasn't punishing them from not giving them money. He gave them double because he expects them to win. He wants them to know, I expect you to win, and I'm for you 100%. And when you don't, that's a surprise. That's not common for us.
Plus, you told me you learn more when you lose.
Of
Yep,
course you do.
right?
And I
exactly.
said,
Oh,
that's a great lesson to learn.
Okay, so you win your third fight.
Yes, and
What do people do after a fight?
I mean,
Like go to Applebee's? Or,
go
definitely
get some to
go
eat.
get something to eat.
Yeah, you go
yeah.
get some meat.
I mean,
Definitely
is it an
something to eat.
awesome meal, like the best
I mean,
tasting
what did I
steak ever,
have?
or what do
Yeah.
you do?
Or if you have desserts, like me, I used to go and get chocolate sundae.
Right.
Man. That was like
Yeah.
that was
So
my
that's good. I like
post-fight
Cream,
meal.
yeah.
Because you got to lose. Well, you got to be on. You got to
Right,
have to
beyond
wait.
Yeah,
right?
make the weight. So usually after weigh-ins, you still want to eat healthy and stuff until up to the fight to stay ready. But after the fight, you can splurge a little bit,
Yeah.
have a little cheap meal type of deal. So, but after that, you can either usually get right back into the gym.
Do you, or do you take a break, or
I
let
was-
your body recuperate?
I was back in the
or-
gym. I fought on Saturday. I went back to the gym on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And just pretty much worked out a little bit, hung out. There's a few kids that will be fighting amateur in our gym, so I've helped them out, teach them up. Thing about our gym is non-profit organization, so it's free to go there to our gym.
What's
so
the name of it?
What's that?
What's the name of it?
The ECPD Boxing Club,
Okay.
Elwood City Police Department.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's right in the basement, so it's a great little gym. So all the kids who come in, you pretty much only thing you have to pay for is we have water for 25 cents,
Okay.
and their hand wraps, and we have all the other gear.
So do
and-
you? And I don't know if this happened to you.
Yeah.
And maybe and I'm not trying to start something. So
Okay.
if you don't want to answer it, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. As you progress, do you go from the trainer manager you have now to a different one that maybe knows more people or knows more boxing? Is that possible?
Not necessarily.
Oh, it's possible.
It's possible, definitely,
because
but
that's common. in
yeah.
boxing.
It is common?
It's common
Yeah.
to still
Because don't you
develop fighters.
outgrow
Well,
the
well,
level
you-
you're
yes
at?
and no.
or-
you want to be
Yes and no.
successful.
Yes
So
and
you
no.
want to succeed. So you want to do what's best for you, really.
Right.
So
Because it's your job now. It's your
Exactly.
life. Here's the thing. Before you said that, Mike, and I was just talking about this yesterday. But there's certain trainers, that you're amateur trainer. There's not a lot of. I tell people there's good fighters still, but there's not a lot of good trainers. And I always say the difference between amateurs and pros. The pro game is the hurting game. You got to be able to hurt people. Amateurs, so a lot of guys take their amateur trainer as they turn pro, but they don't progress anything. The pro game's a different game.
That's my question.
And
Yes.
and there are different tricks and techniques that you couldn't do in amateurs. So a lot of guys, there's even guys that are champions that I watch. They're friends of mine, but they're not very good fighters. I hate to say it. You go, how could they not be a good fighter, be a world champion? Because they get it by athletic ability. They for desire. They win on heart, but they don't win on talent as much. They're not as talented as they got the heart and desire because they never progressed. They're still very amateurish, and the games and you just go because they kept the same amateur trainer. And a lot of people, well, for me that works. I get it. Don't get me wrong.
Better coaching.
But there's other guys. My father thought it was never good for a father to be in a son's corner. And he never was. And we had that talk on the air the other day. Caleb Plant, who was my guest, he's a world champion, just won. His father's in his corner, but he's not the lead trainer. He's the assistant trainer. But Caleb said, my father was always there, but he allows me to be me. And he brought somebody else in, which I admire. My father said, no good for a father being in a son's corner because emotions take over. You can't think, thought process doesn't.
Even if he knows way more than the trainer does and could coach you better, in your dad's
oh,
opinion.
Yeah, everyone thought my father was in my corner. I said, no, my father was Bob Arum, to this day, Bob Arum says, the best fight father ever was Ray Mancini's father. Because he was a fighter he knew. And he let Griff Murphy, his manager and trainer, do their job, and he just was his father. Anytime a father cross over to be your manager, or he ain't your trainer, but he's your manager, that's your business partner. Just be my father. I want a father. I don't need a bit. So I tell people.
That makes sense.
That's why these guys, you always say, Roy Jones, we're going to be different. No, him and the father didn't want him speaking. Shane Mosley, me and my father did. No, they broke up. Every father and son, they're supposed to be different, they think. No.
Doesn't work.
Now, there's a couple that I've worked that they're still. Leo Santa Cruz's father is in his corner, is his trainer. It works.
Floyd Mayweather.
Sean Porter. No, Floyd Mayweather didn't work. He cussed his father out. His uncle was in his corner.
His uncle.
Was his
Roger.
father. No, his father
That's right.
was away at first, in jail, but he got out. But his father would help out, come in, then he let father come in, and then they had a falling out. I mean,
Yeah, it was back and forth.
yeah, but the kid basically trains himself and listens
Right.
to himself. Guys like Sean Porter, who's a world champion, he's a friend of mine. His father, it works for them. They're but they're saying it can't work. I'm not saying it never works. They're just saying it's not the common thing. But a lot of what happens is the guys stifle because the father will tell them, hey, change the game, how to change. They can buy how because they were successful amateurs, and that's going to translate to the pro game, and it doesn't. Not for a lot of these guys. A lot of guys are winning, but they're not winning. They're not winning impressively, and they're not winning to me, which I think is in a way that going to put them on the map. I don't think so. But anyhow, that's the thing. So,
So yes,
amateur trainers,
sometimes
yeah.
you graduate to another
You
trade.
need to.
Yes.
You need to.
Yeah.
And when I left, I had Eddie Sullivan was my trainer in Youngstown. One of the most beloved guys and one of the greatest, probably the best amateur trainer here. When I moved on with Murphy Griffith and Dave Wolf, people, how could you do that to Eddie? How could you? I heard all the grumblings. But I knew I was going to New York. Eddie could go to New York. His family was here. He wasn't going anywhere. I love that man. Eventually, he got it. And even my trainer, Murphy Griffith, gave Ed Sullivan the credit because he developed me into a terrific fighter. But now it's time to take me to the next step, the next level. And Griff was able to do that. And people got it. And after I was successful winning, people said, oh, man, you had to go Griff. You had to do it. Yeah. At first, though, how could he do that? How could Ray Mancini do that? Why? He's not loyal. Because they don't get it, man. You have a dream, you have a goal. You have to move on. It's my career. It's my life. And everyone, it's good to be. I'm big on loyalty. Don't get me wrong. I'm big, sometimes to a fault, where it's hampered my other careers. I've been loyal to people who's stifled my other careers that I'm going. But no, not my boxing career. That was, you got to take loyalty is great, but as long as it takes you to the next level, as you grow together. If it's one's stifling you, one's trying to suppress that growth. Got to move on, man.
You got to do what's
Gotta move
best
on.
for yourself.
So we're at the bottom here. We're at the end of the hour. And we can go as long as Ray wants to.
Right.
But what is next for you think?
Just keep going, really.
Will you stay in your weight class? Will you stay?
Yeah, I want to stay lightweight. I want to be 130, 135 area. I don't want to go any heavier than that. I actually made it to 130. I was 134 at my last fight, and I made it pretty easy. So
Is this a good, when you look at the lightweights out there, is this a good class for you to be in?
Yeah, I believe so.
You see opportunity?
Yeah, with the right training and discipline, I believe I can make it pretty far in this sport.
And also, my father told me a long time ago, breaks and connections. Breaks and connections are so imperative as far as professional. Some of the greatest fighters are starving in gyms. You never see them. Some of the greatest fighters, because they don't got the breaks and connections. A guy like Rosie, he is a terrific fighter. He needs the right promoter to be able to move him. Get the right.
Yeah.
That's the connection you got to have.
So maybe that's your short term.
Yeah, probably.
You got to get. You got a promoter now. That's great.
Yeah.
But the promoter can be able to take it to the next level. If he can't, promoters can't get mad at fighters because they want to move on. I developed this kid. Then you better. If you can't take him to the next level, if you can't move to because there's guys who develop a guy, and they form partnerships with a guy like Bob Arum. For partnership with guys like Al Heyman. Al Heyman's not taking over. They become the lead promoter. You're still the promoter. You have a piece of guy, but you took him to the next level because you can't do what Arum does or Al Heyman does.
Yeah.
Or,
And hopefully they recognize
exactly.
that, right?
Hopefully, exactly, Mike.
Yeah.
Very good way. Well, hopefully.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Anything else for
Well, I
Rosie?
just want to say, man, for anybody, this was a show. We wanted to have Rosie on, tell a story. One time because he's an everyday guy. You heard him. He's working. He's working in a steel mill. He's a blue collar guy. He's got a woman he loves. He got the baby, and he's trying to make his life in a new career, boxing. He's working. We're going boxing, but he has such a love for the sport. He's trying to make that his life, and willing to sacrifice his family life, sacrifice other things, for his family. And that's what I want the show to be about life stories, about inspirational stories. You are an inspiration, not only for me, hopefully it's for our listeners, and anybody who's got the desire, determination, and the right mindset, and the right heart, the right intention, as you do, can't be anything but a success.
That's the way I look at it.
And I got to, like I said, I met him a couple of years ago, and he's just a great kid then. He's a wonderful young man now, and that's why I was so happy to have you on the show. And we just want to teach, like I said, this show is about life lessons, Mike.
Yep.
And
I agree.
And hopefully people learn something about Rosie today, about themselves. When you hear other people's stories, you learn about yourself. And like I said, I learned this past trip. Practice what you preach, man. Talk the talk, walk the walk. And I had to teach that. And I said, I went through a little bit of a transformation myself. Said, you know what? I'm not going to buy into misery, and I'm not buying into negativity of any kind. Life's going good for me now. Thank God. I had, there's times you could get negative. I had opportunities to, but I don't. Life's too good for I try to focus on the positive and flush away the negative. It's hard. It's difficult. And this last trip taught me, man. Look, temporary things, material things. That's nothing.
That's true.
It's about what's here. It's about what's here, and it's about the love and the love that you get and the love that you give. The love that you give, and that's it's important, man. Show love and kindness out to people, man. That's what makes the world go round. It ain't hard to be. I tell people all the time, man. It ain't hard to be a good guy. It really ain't. You got to work hard to be a jerk off. No, really. It ain't hard. It's
true.
Athletes.
No,
you see that in athletes.
You got to think all the time.
Right.
You do.
A guy comes, hey, can I have an autograph? Absolutely. Can I take a picture? Absolutely. For a guy say, no, man, I ain't got time. You got to work. Just take the damn picture, man. Sign it. Takes you 10 seconds.
That's right. And it makes a guy's day.
It makes everyone's day. So like I said, you don't think hard. It ain't much. It ain't. It's easy being a good guy, man, and just showing kindness and love and compassion to somebody. So try to make that your daily vigil to show compassion, love, and kindness to others.
Well, before we go, I have to thank the Avalon Inn and Resort and Avalon Golf Course for Avalon Lakes Golf Course. Have you been here before?
No, I have not.
What did you think when you walked up?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, yeah, it's great. I did not expect it to be this immaculate.
Yeah, well, there are at the inn next door. We have the hotel that has over 130 rooms in it. They have some specials. Jersey Boys is coming to town. You ever heard of Jersey Boys? You're probably friends with half of them.
Well, Frankie was. I was a good friend.
Yeah, I knew it.
Frankie is a good friend. No, Frankie is a good friend.
April 22nd, 23rd, they have room rates that are in the 130s.
Oh, they're going to do it here?
They're doing it in Warren.
Warren, at Packard, right.
At Packard Music Hall.
No, Frankie is a good friend. And when they did it, and they did it, they came. They did it. They had a special showing in Youngstown a couple of years ago. Of course, he came into town for it, and I was of course.
So if you're lucky enough to have tickets, you can stay here for $139. You get an app for you and your significant other, and you get 2 drinks, and you get shuttled back and forth to the show. How great is that?
How about that?
And our summer golf packages are fantastic. So weather's going to break here one of these days, and we're going to be playing golf. So check out the website, AvalonGCC.com. golfandcountryclub.com. Golf and
golf?
Country
Well,
Club.
you
No, I
dot
don't
com.
golf actually. I've tried it a couple times, but I
Yeah,
need to
well,
get back
When the
into
steel mill outing
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
out
yeah,
here,
I
we'll
need
be
to
all
get-
I
set.
need to go back
People
into
ask
it.
me, "Do you golf?" I said, "Not if I can help it."
Yeah.
Now you got to come back, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'm
How about this? When you're 10-0,
definitely.
you come back.
All right.
When you win your
Sounds
10th
good.
fight, you come back.
Good.
Is that cool?
Sounds
That's
good.
right, my man.
I'll
Absolutely.
come back
Hopefully-
whenever.
and,
I
hopefully that'll be-
appreciate.
that'll be
Thank you
soon
guys
enough.
for
Oh, my
having me
pleasure.
on the show. I
Good luck.
appreciate it.
Good
I
luck.
want you to tell your story, and I want people to pay attention. You're going to Rosalindo Morales. That name right there is a star name.
Oh, yeah.
Rosalindo.
Yeah.
How about that, man? Rose, you're the best, brother.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Ray. I
it. God bless
appreciate
you,
it.
brother.
Thank
My
you,
pleasure.
Mike.
All right. Great to see you.
You too.
All right. End it for us.
And well, thank you for sticking around for another round of the Boom Boom Room. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. If you liked the show, maybe give us some text us on Facebook or all you Facebook, YouTube. Tell us what your thoughts are. If you didn't care for the show, keep it to yourself. We don't care what you think. But until then, next time, hopefully you'll come back for another round of the Boom Boom Room next week. But until then, take care of each other, love each other. God bless. Good night.